Get ready for a long and intense fight over who will represent you in Washington. Governor Scott made it official today. He wants to take Bill Nelson's Senate seat.
We're going to do the exact same thing we've done in Florida. We're going to turn around the national economy. We're going to make sure that Washington works for us. It can work. It must work. We're going to make sure it works for Florida and for all of us.
Just moments after Scott's announcement, Nelson released a statement saying, "I've always run every race like there's no tomorrow, regardless of my opponent. I've always believed that if you wake up every day and if you try to do the right thing, the politics will take care of itself." We're a little less than 7 months away from the election. This race expected to be one of the most expensive in the country, and it could determine which party controls the Senate.
So here they are head-to-head. Democrat Bill Nelson, senator since 2001. Republican Rick Scott, governor since 2011. With 15 campaigns, Nelson has won 14 elections. Rick Scott is 2 for 2. Now that we know who will be on the ballot, DID News reporters Noah Prensky and Phil Buck are helping you figure out where the candidates stand on issues that matter to you.
Let's talk guns, okay? What might we be able to expect from a Senator Rick Scott on the gun issue, or from 6 more years of Bill Nelson?
We flip the coin to see who plays whom. I get the red side with Rick Scott. You get Bill Nelson. 90 seconds on the clock, and the first thing you're going to hear, Rick Scott, such a staunch defender of the gun rights and the Bill of Rights, of course, of people in America and Florida. A+ rating from the NRA.
An A+ rating from the NRA. Not exactly something that you would want to brag about in 2018. Bill Nelson, very proud of his F rating from the NRA.
Because all he is talking about is gun control this, gun control that. He's going way too far. Look, Rick Scott is able to balance both the interests of those who want safer streets and those who want gun protections. This most recent year's Parkland bill shows that. Yeah, Parkland, okay. Why weren't you there after Pulse, some might say? You know, what about after Sandy Hook? Nelson would say that Scott didn't go nearly far enough. 96% of Floridians say they want background checks across the board. Almost 2/3 say they want an assault weapons ban. 2 things to respond to that. 1, where was the Senate, led by Democrats after Sandy Hook? They didn't do anything then either, neither did Bill Nelson. And most recently, this Parkland bill shows that Governor Scott can balance the interests. Look, he bucked the NRA. He said we're going to increase the age to buy a gun, we're going to increase mental health, we're going to do all these things to make our streets safer, but not infringe on the Second Amendment. But Bill Nelson, when he was in the Senate, he voted in support of those gun control measures. He just couldn't get his colleagues to play ball. What about Docs versus Glocks? Okay, so that's a 2011 bill that the legislature passed. Governor Scott signed it because the legislature wanted it. This was to protect the Second Amendment. It said doctors couldn't ask patients about guns, right? What's the big deal? It's a public health crisis, according to the CDC. Doctors, Bill Nelson says, should be able to ask about it. It was ruled unconstitutional, so therefore it's a moot point. But as we look forward to Florida, you have 7 months to decide who your votes are going to be cast by for the next 6 years in D.C.